Hello, I am Ritvik Jain, registration number 18 BEC 0917, and in this video I am going to discuss my digital assignment 1 of computer organization and architecture, and I am doing this assignment under Professor Dhanawal R. So here this is the basic block diagram of my microprocessor which I am using, and my microprocessor is TM S570LS0232. So this is the basic block diagram in which I am using many microprocessors in it, like STU, RAM, Cortex, LCM, and etc. SCR, like this. So this is the basic block diagram. Now these are the parts which are used in this main block diagram. So this is the block diagram of the parts which are used in this main block diagram. So this is the block diagram of PBIST. So in this PBIST room is consists there PBIST controller and micro data path, and similarly STSC block diagram. This is the STSC block diagram. So in this the ROM interface is there and it is passing value to the FCM, and here is the structure of this, and this is the Cortex R4 CCM R4 block diagram. Like this, each part there are many parts here, so each block diagram is are here, uh, so so this is about the block diagram. Now I am going to talk about the my instruction set. So in this this is the table of flag generated by instructions. So I divided this into four parts: the abbreviation, flag name, and set restart by used by CNV. Like flag names are carry flag, negative flag, overflow flag, zero flag, like this. There are many flags. And this is the interrupt cable instruction. It is divided into two parts: interrupt cable instruction and non-interrupt cable instruction. So interrupt cable instructions are ACMP, ACNT, APCNT, like this to WCAP. And non-interrupt cable instructions are ADC, ADC, NST, ADD, ADM32, AND, DAD, M32, like this. And this is the table of the clock sources, which is divided in I divided into three parts: clock sources hash, clock sources name, and description. So the it is the serial number and it is the clock source name. So like this, on serial number 0, clock name is OSCIN, and here's the description about this. So main oscillator, this is the primary clock for the microcontroller. So in this table I described what the clock names are which are used in this microcontroller, and their description here. So, and this is the clock domains. So here is the serial number and it is clock domain, uh, default source, and selection registration, and special consideration. So special consideration, I specifically wrote that what are their special characters which I used in this microcontroller. So and here I wrote about the addressing mode. In main memory, for each double control packet, the addressing mode for the RAM can be configured to constant or pro- post increment mode in the register IHEDD and constant addressing. In constant mode, the STU write and read the data to from the same address in the main RAM. And it is the like this, it is end to HED RAM, and here I wrote the description about it also. And in this I am going to in question number 3 I am going to explain the microprocessor element architecture. So my microcontroller, so the microcontroller I use, which is TMS570LC0232, is based on the TMS570 platform architecture, and my device architecture has been designed from the ground up to simplify development of functionally safe systems. And in this I use the ADCX, analog to digital converter also. So to approximation the register architecture, it features a selectable 10-bit to 12-bit resolution, and manages the access to control the status of register also. This is the one ADC module on the device. And uh, and the another element I used is CRC, which is cyclic redundancy checker. In this module provide two channel to perform background signature verification of any memory region. And this is the block diagram. This is the block diagram which the elements are used, like CRC, dual cortex R4, and VBUCMR STUI, like this architecture block diagram. And uh, and the microcontroller device architecture also include many features to simplify the diagnostic of remaining logic, such as continuous party diagnostics on all peripherals memory. And this is the HR input output architecture. This is the block diagram of this, how it's work. This HR TDR is connected to the diode, and then it is connected to the HET diode D2, like this. uh, and here is the correlation of the IAS and my microcontroller architecture which I used. And the IAS machine was the binary computer with a 40 bits memory and storing to 20 bits instruction in each word. The memory was 1024 words. Negative numbers were presented in two complement format. Um, so the two general purpose registers available, which are the accumulator and the another one is multiplier quotient, and it is used 1700 vacuum tubes, like this. And It was an asynchronous machine, means that there was no certain clock regulation the timing of the instructions. One instruction started executing when the previous one finished. The additional time was 62 microseconds and the multiplication time was 713 microseconds. Although some claim the ISU machine was the first designed to mix program, and data is a single memory also that had been implemented 4 years, uh, like with 1948 something. So this is the block diagram. Now, a special event trigger, like this. And and this is the register organization of microprocessing elements. So I divided into three part: offset, and acronym, and register description. So he like this zero, it starts from 00h, 0 like by 4, incrementing by 4, like 00h, then I incremented by 4, 04h, then 04h, likewise 0ch, because 4 plus 8 plus 4 is 12, and in binary we used to write 0ch, so like this 0ch, like this here. So it is the register description. So what this asynchronous is doing, so it is a pin register 1, and 04h is SOSC pin controller 2, like this. These are the register organization of the microprocessor operation, all like. And in this also same table it is. And then system register, these registers are broken up into two separate frames. The first starts address of primary system module frame, which is FFFFF00H, and the start address of secondary system is FFFFFE100H. And it supports 32, 16 and 8 bit writes. So so here is the multiplication algorithm which I used in this. So here is the flow chart, which will tell you about the algorithm. In this, I multiplier operation in which multiplicand is B and multiplier is Q, and Q is QS. Here I apply XOR between QS and BS. First we initialize A equals to 0, E equals to 0, and C equals to n number of bits in Q. So when the Qn will equals to 1, then it will set E value equals to A plus B. Other, if Qn equals to 0, then right shift algorithm will apply on EAQ, and then is SC equals to SC minus 1. If uh, if qn equals to 1, then a equals to a plus b, and it will go to, and then after that it will apply shift right plus 1. Otherwise it will directly apply shift algorithm here, and it will check that sc value is equals to 0 or not. If it will equals to 0, then it will go to AND. Otherwise it will again go to the qn value, and this loop will run until that sc value equals to 0. So like that, the our loop will get end. So here I the steps I wrote in the bottom of that flow chart. So there are the steps which I just uh, speak right now only. So these all are the step, and here is the truth table, that how that what are the values that flowchart is giving to us. So like I in for example I take b equals to 1011 and e a q s c like this, and q equals to qn equals to 1, add this. So this is the flowchart. So in this I use control logic unit, like output enable, data output, data in, input and enable, input control disable, input pull select, and here is that not get, and here is also not get, and to het pin is also there. So it is the working processor, how it is working. And interface card is also there, which is 8-bit microcontroller, which is going to the DAC and voltage doubler, and internet layers also there. So it is the working processor of uh, control logic unit. So the memory management system in processor which I selected is that the Cortex R4 used a 34-bit addressing bus, and giving it access to a memory space of 4 GB. This space is divided into several regions, each addresses by different memory selects. Yeah, and the main flash's instruction memory is addressed starting at 0 cross 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 by default. So the CPU data RAM is addressed starting at 0 cross 0 8 0 0 0 0 by default, and the device also support the swapping of the CPU instruction memory and the data memory, and this can be done by configuration the MEM swap field of the bus matrix module control register 1. After swapping, the data of RAM access starting from 0000, and the RAM ECE location are addressed starting from 0 cross 0 0 4 0 0, and the flash memory is also accessed starting from 0 cross 0 8 0 0 0 0. So this is the table of the explanation which I done just right now. So here is the table of the explanation how it's working, and addressing mode definition which I just in answer number 1 I speak, and this is the STU block diagram which used in the main block diagram. So here is the pipeline and the parallel capabilities of unit. So in computer science, the instruction pipeline is a technique for implementing instruction level parallelism within a single processor. The pipeline attempt to keep every parts of processor busy with some instruction by dividing incoming instruction into a series of sequential steps performed by different processor unit with different parts of instruction processed in parallel. It allows faster CPU throughout than would otherwise be possible at a given clock rate, but may increase latency due to added overhead of the pipeline process itself. And pipeline mode is the mode which a flash is read 182 bits at a time, providing higher throughout. And here is the block diagram of the explanation, that the memory is there, and it will go to the data cache and to data register, and instruction cache to decode unit, and to control unit, and in integer FU or floating point FU. And here is the hierarchy of a control, like in a bottom rectangle type, elimination, substitution, like this, 2 pp, and flash operation control register, FRD, which short form if FRD CNTL, supports pipeline mode and the registration control flash timing for the main, and flash banks for the equivalent register that control flash timing of the EEPROM emulation flash bank, uh, which in pipeline mode the flash operator with a system clocks frequency of up to 80 megahertz like this. And it don't in my microprocessor it don't support the processor level parallelism because the cache coherence problem. It is the multiprocessor system. Data inconvenience may occur among adjacent level or within the same level of the memory hierarchy. For example, the cache and the main memory may have inconsistent copies of the same object. As multiple processors operate in parallel and independently, multiply caches may process different copies of the same memory blocks. So let X be an element of shared data. Here is the example, like X is an element of the shared data which has been referenced by two processors P1 and P2. In the beginning, three copies of X are consistent, and if the processor of P1 writes a new data X1 into cache by using write through policy, the same copy will be written immediately into the shared memory. In this case, the inconsistency occurs between the cache memory and the main memory, which a write back policy is used. The main memory will update when the modified data in the cache is replaced or invalidated. So before update, here this is the block diagram. Write through like this and write back like this. So input output activity also, as illustration figure, the input output device is added to the bus. In a in the beginning, both the caches contains the data element X. When the input output device receives a new element, it stores the new element directly in the main memory. Now when either P1 and P2 tries to read element X, is get an outdated copy. So here is the explanation of the block diagram, like for memory input output, write through input output, write back input output. So here I am done with my DA Digital 1 assignment explanation. Thank you.